Jorge Linares is currently the WBC lightweight champion in recess. He was supposed to fight Zlatikanin instead of Mikey Garcia, but because of injury, he couldn't. So the WBC made him champion in recess. I'm going to quote Jorge Linares directly here. He says, well, he's talking about Mikey Garcia's fight with Zlatikanin. He said, "I was very impressed with what he did. He is a great champion. I didn't have any doubts he would win. I wasn't sure about Dejan because he never faced a really strong fighter. He fought one this time and he was really hurt by that great punch from Mikey. It will be a very interesting fight between me and him. Let's see what happens, and if he decides to stay at 135 pounds, then let's see if he wants to fight me later in the year." So those are the words of Jorge Linares talking about a potential showdown with Mikey Garcia. Now, I'm going to go on record right now and tell you that in my view, Mikey Garcia beats Jorge Linares. I've never been particularly impressed with Linares. Yes, he's very athletically gifted. He's got fast hands. He's a good combination puncher. He's got decent power, decent boxing skills. He's a good fighter. But his chin and his heart, in my view, have always been suspect, particularly his chin. He's been hurt and he's been down in numerous fights and he's been stopped before. Mikey Garcia is carrying some serious power and he seems to be extremely hungry after coming back from his hiatus of several years because of promotional difficulties. So I personally think Garcia would be too strong for him, and I think he would get to Linares, and I think he'd probably knock Linares out. When it comes to top level boxing, more often than not, particularly in the lighter weights, the fights tend to go the distance. So you are kind of, if you're in the business of predictions, you are kind of risking it anytime you actually predict somebody to win by KO, particularly when you're talking about the top level guys fighting each other, not a top level guy taking on some cherry picked voluntary challenger. But when you're talking about two legitimately top level guys in their division, those fights normally go the distance, or they normally go several rounds. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say Mikey Garcia stops Jorge Linares if and when they fight. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, people. Maybe you guys rate Linares higher than me. I know he's always been athletically gifted and talented, but I've always felt the punch resistance was always an issue for him. And I don't think his defense is good enough to make up for that punch resistance against a Mikey Garcia. Just my view. Maybe you disagree. We won't find out who's right or wrong until these two guys get in the ring. But for now, I'd like to hear what you think. All right? It's happening. I'm out.